These easy single welt pockets are a single rectangle that are 6 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall with a 0.5 inch seam allowance. The pocket is big enough to fit your phone and a slim wallet. The dimensions are easily modifiable to suit any project. The welt opening will be placed 0.5 inches below the top and be 5.25 inches long by 0.4375 inches or 1 centimeter wide. You will need to cut one on the fold from your fabric. The dimensions are easily modifiable to suit any project. If you increase the welt width, you also need to increase the length of the pocket by the same amount. Take a small strip of fusible interfacing and attach that over the welt opening. Once that's attached, follow your pattern to determine how to line up your welt pocket on the fabric you wish to add the pocket to. Placing right sides together, pin around the welt opening. You can also add in extra pins or clips to prevent things from shifting under the machine. You're going to sew 2 horizontal lines at the top and bottom of the welt opening. On your sewing machine, make sure to line up the needle at the very end of the top welt line. Take it nice and slow when sewing a straight line, making sure to follow your markings. When you get to the other end of the top welt line, you may need to reduce your stitch length to ensure that your needle ends exactly at the marked end point. Remember to backstitch at the start and end. Repeat this process for the bottom welt line. This is what your sewn welt line should look like after you're done. Now we need to cut into the welt pocket opening. Fold the welt pocket opening in half like this and make a small incision in the center of that welt opening. Unfold the pocket and continue cutting down each side of the welt pocket opening until you get to about 0.25 inches from the end, at which point you will then cut into the corners of the welt pocket at the top and bottom, forming a triangle flap at each end. Make sure not to cut past your stitches or into your stitches. After you've made your incisions, it should look like this. Next, we need to press the welt pocket at key locations and turn it inside out. Fold the welt pocket upwards and press this area flat. Fold the welt pocket down and press this area flat. Turn the welt pocket inside out. This may take some finessing to get things to stay properly, then press the welt opening flat. Fold a portion of the bottom of the welt pocket up to cover the welt pocket opening. Press that flat. This is what your pressed welt pocket should look like. To hold the fabric around the welt pocket opening in place, you should sew across the 2 triangle flaps at the side and the seam at the bottom. You should try to sew as close as possible along the inside edge of the triangle flaps on both sides of the welt pocket opening and as close as possible to the edge of the seam at the bottom. These stitches will help hold things in place and prevent shifting during pocket usage. This is what the sewn triangle flaps and the bottom seam should look like after you're done. We're ready to attach the invisible zippers. Line up the zipper on the back side of the welt pocket opening. I chose to put my zipper pole on the inside portion of the welt pocket, but it doesn't matter which side it goes on. Just make sure that it is flush with one side of the welt opening. Also, make sure that the zipper teeth sit in the center of the welt opening. Once everything is aligned, pin the zipper in place from the right side of the fabric because this is the side that we're going to sew from. A hack to make this easier is to use double-sided fabric tape. I didn't have any readily available, so I stuck with pins, but it was a little tricky making sure things didn't slip around when placing the pins. Change your regular sewing foot to a zipper foot. This will allow you to get a closer stitch around the welt opening. Use a stitch length of 2.5 or even shorter to top stitch around the perimeter of the welt pocket opening. Be careful when sewing over the zipper teeth. You may need to pull on the other end of the fabric or use your sewing machine hand wheel to get the zipper foot to pass over the teeth. Also, you will need to maneuver the zipper pull out of the way as you're sewing. Take it nice and slow, and you'll end up with a professional looking welt pocket. When you're done sewing, this is what your top stitching should look like. After you've pressed the welt pocket opening flat, use pinking shears to trim both ends of the zipper such that the zipper length is contained within the seam allowances of the pocket. You can now close up your pocket. Fold the pocket up, placing right sides together and clip in place. Sew the 3 sides of the pocket closed, starting from one end of the fold line to the other. Be sure to maneuver the front lining out of the way so you don't accidentally stitch the pocket to the lining. And that was the last step for your welt pockets that are now complete. This is what your final welt pocket should look like. Happy sewing!